Grand
Yo,
arrival. Grand arrival, everybody. Grand arrival. Thank you guys for joining us today. I'm Jennifer Nix, the owner of Grandeur Transcendent Travels. Just doing a little interview today. I'm with the Small Business Network, and this is our podcast episode 399, on our way to the big one here, on our way to the big one that we're going to celebrate, but we can't get there yet. We have a wonderful guest. This is just topping off one of the episodes for our Rebirth of Travel show that will be coming soon. But before we get to that, we wanted to talk to one of our greats, our smartest man in the business here, Mr. Sean White, the owner of Transformation Greatness. Mr. Sean White, how are you tonight?
first and foremost, let the record show that that is one great way of really bringing a person in. And I thank you as far as for allowing me as far as to be a guest on your show. So this is going to be something that's going to be amazing and fantastic. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it because it's actually very refreshing because I get to, be a co-host. I get to interview so many great individuals, but it's not every day that I get
Right.
to be a guest. So this is going to be fascinating, everyone. And if I
That
were
part.
you, come in, definitely, relax, get comfy, and enjoy the show.
Right, right. We welcome you guys to come and enjoy this episode. I mean, Sean has so many great things that he does for the SBN, for himself, for his own business. In fact, and just being in travel, knowing that travel is something that's more than just travel these days. Travel is a whole new way of looking at things. We have so many people with trauma, so many people with problems, and they really need to reconnect with themselves. But Sean is actually, I guess you can say, like a doctor of healing people. Am I right, Sean?
Well, I wouldn't say a doctor per se, but I'm known as a hypnotherapist practitioner. And basically, what that means, that gives me the ability, as far as to be able to work with people and allow them to go much deeper in regards of what they're presenting issues. So I love that aspect because combined with being a life coach, a speaker,
Mhm.
and a person of many different talents, that allows me to work with individuals to help them achieve 100% of the results in which that they are looking for. Notice on what I said, they, not I, but they are looking for.
Right,
So we work as a
right,
team, together. It's just like with sports. You can have the best players on the team, but if you don't have that coach that can make it all gel, that could bring the best out of individuals, that can see certain blind spots, right? And that's what really what
right,
coaching is all about. If they can't see the blind spots to help you identify that and to work on that, then pretty much, they're not great for that team. And in this instance, then I wouldn't be great for that client. So that's a little snippet as far as
right.
what being a hypnotherapist practitioner is all about. But I wear many different hats.
Well, I love it because you wear it well, you do it well. It's absolutely awesome what you do. You even work with me. I have to tell people you work with me. He works with me, and this is somebody who feel like, do I need work? Don't we all kind of feel like wonder, do we need work? Do we need a little assistance in certain decision making? And I'm one of those. I mean, let me ask you, Sean, like, what inspired you though to become an entrepreneur
It's
in
a
your
very
field?
interesting. Yeah. Well, in my field or being an entrepreneur, period.
Both.
Okay. So that's a two part question. So I'll
Mhm.
answer the first part. What
Okay.
inspired me to become an entrepreneur, I would have to say, stemmed all the way back from my mother. And Louise K. White, also known as Wheezy, she was an individual that she was a hardworking individual, hardworking lady, single parent of three.
Mhm.
She had to
Mhm.
wear both roles. Well, she always did things as far as what with a smile on her face.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was too many times that in my life that I can recall that she actually complained. Even though I used to see that she used to be tired, I could see like literally she had like the world on her shoulders, but yet
Yeah.
she did it with a smile and just having that drive and that work ethic. And I know as far as with Mama White, she done had a million and one hustles. Trust me, I already know this. So I think, so I think, as far as with me being an entrepreneur and stemming from my mom and just the work ethic, right?
That's beautiful.
When I was a kid, I always was doing something. Like I remember my first job being a bagger, right, at a seat town in my
I
neighborhood.
know
I had to
that
be
feeling.
7 8 years old,
Mhm.
and it just literally grew into all different aspects of my life as I gotten older. I always seen myself as being an entrepreneur, always having a business mind. I'm a people person, so I love to interact and engage and travel and meet people. And business was always something that was very fascinating to me. In
Wow.
this industry, what inspired me to become an entrepreneur, especially like on social media, it was
Mhm.
very interesting because I remember I was doing sales and marketing and I was pretty good at it actually. And one of my colleagues, he was like, "Hey, you know what, Sean? You got a mind for business. You love people. You love building teams. Have you
Yeah.
ever thought about really, taking this online, like being an online entrepreneur?" At that time, I was like, I really don't know, man. I was pretty comfortable as far as where I was at. I was making good money. I was building
Right.
teams. I was
Mhm.
building leaders. And so I
Right.
was like, I really don't know. But he was like, hey, man, I'm telling you, man, because, you work so hard and you're making good money, but think about how much more you can actually do by being an online entrepreneur. And like,
Mm.
he pretty much sold me on that. So I said, okay, yeah, that was fine. So I'm thinking with my mind, right, that I can jump into the online space and it would be easy, right? Only thing I gotta do is create a
Right.
product, throw it out there, and everybody
Right.
will just buy it, and I'll become a gazillionaire, right?
Mhm.
And wrong, wrong. And
Totally.
so through this journey of 13 going on 14 years, I learned a lot. I'll tell you that much. I reached a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and
Right.
life in all in between. I done lost loved ones during this process. I had people betray me. I done lost money. I've been scammed. I've been
Wow.
homeless.
Yeah.
Name it.
Yeah.
I've pretty much been through it, right? But
Right.
to ask me, would I trade that in if I had to do it all over again? And the answer is absolutely not, because it has made me the individual of who I am today. The resiliency, the action mindset, right? Because
Right.
just like you know, it, just like in life, when it comes to business, is
Mhm.
that you have to move with a certain speed. You have to move with a certain level of urgency because
Mhm.
if you don't,
Mhm.
just like in life, then you will be behind and you'll always will find yourself on that struggle bus.
Yeah.
And so I learned a lot of things, especially in network marketing. That's why I love network marketing because you learn so many key principles, not only in business but for life as well. So
Right, right. I totally agree because I mean, like I tell people, you have taught me a lot. You and a few other our other partners here have taught me quite a bit about moving it, getting it on the ball because we get stuck in such a routine, we get stuck in this and we get stuck in that, that time warp. And yeah, you have to move pretty quick in order to catch a rainbow. You have to move pretty quick if your rainbow is your business and you're trying to become an entrepreneur. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's a mouthful right there. I mean, let me ask you, like, how did you, when it comes to transformation greatness, how did you come about that?
Mm, how did I come about transformation
Uh-huh.
greatness? I would love to say that it was by my own intellect, by my own wit.
Mm-hmm.
But ladies and gentlemen, I can't say that. Transformation greatness was actually birthed from a place where I was broken in all phases. I mean, emotionally, financially, spiritually, you name it. I was there. I was like pretty much what you want to say at rock bottom, right? And I was homeless, and I'm not afraid or ashamed to say that whatsoever.
That's
And
good.
so how the way that came about is that I was coming out of church one day. I'll never forget this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at a park, which really was like the jailhouse across the street from the church. And I was sitting there in the park just listening to music, right, the gospel music, and I was just chilling. I was in my vibe.
Right.
And have you ever seen the movie The Matrix with Keanu Reeves and Larry Fishburne?
Yes, I have. One of my favorite movies.
Mine too. Do you remember that scene when he was walking down the street and he's trying to trying to figure out on where he's at in life because he thought he was at a dead end job and he didn't know
Yeah.
what to do. And then that's
Yeah.
when Morpheus spoke to him and
Yeah.
everybody just froze and stood still.
Yeah. Just everybody, just still. Yeah.
Right. That's what happened to me. And during that time, I, in my personal opinion, I believe it was the voice of God that came at me and said that I have heard your cries, my son, and I'm going to make you as far as the founder and creator of a brand which is called Transformation Greatness, which is going to be all about motivating, encouraging, and inspiring the masses, showing others that it's possible to overcome their self-limited doubts and beliefs. By traveling all around the world, you're going to show people not only that it's possible, but
Right.
also you're going to be giving back to nonprofit organizations and charities, not by your own will or accord, but by me. So people will know through you that it was I and I alone that have given you this gift.
Right. Hey.
Yeah, yeah. You see how clear I just said that?
Yeah.
That's the way that it was presented to me. So I did not believe that. So I'm like, yeah, okay, really. So I'm thinking that my
Yeah.
own conscience, right? So everything
Right.
went back to, but then again, let me show you guys on how the way God works. He got my attention again a second time.
Mm-hmm.
Everything stood still. I was like, okay, oh, this is kind of creepy here. And I couldn't move. And the voice was even more louder and clearer than the
Mm-hmm.
first time. From that point forward, Transformation Greatness was born. He's given me the gift of speaking. He's given me the
Right.
gift of being a coach,
Right.
whatever kind of coach you're describing to be, doesn't
Right.
matter. I
Right.
gained the skills as a practitioner, an
Mm-hmm.
author, a podcaster, radio and TV personality, partner and CEO,
Woo.
etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
But But ultimately, that all started through divine order for
Yeah.
transformation greatness. And that's the reason why when I speak with so much conviction
Mm-hmm.
because I still remember on what it was like going through that phase. And I understand, and this is the reason why one of my dreams is to really go back into the different shelters, right? The different communities, and just
Mm-hmm.
letting people know that it's possible because I understand the stigma or how the way people look at you when
Right.
they see that you're homeless. They think that you are down,
That's
but
right.
not realizing that you're not out.
Right. Right.
There are
Right. Mm-hmm.
many individuals that are in the shelters now that if you hear their stories, you be like, wow, you have very intelligent, articulate people that have dreams, goals, aspirations. They got skills and
Mm-hmm.
talents that will probably run circles around me. But because society has a way of looking at people that are down and quote unquote out as less than second class or third class citizens. So I
Yeah.
experienced
Yeah.
all on. And so
Yeah.
I want to come back and let them know that it is possible that there is still time left, but you have to make a committed decision.
Ooh, ooh, I
Not a
love
de-
it. I love it.
not a
I love it.
not a decision. but a committed decision. What
Yeah.
does that mean? A committed decision basically means that it's burning so much, you have so much of a burning desire in your heart, in your spirit, that you
Mhm.
say, no matter what, I am not going back. And whatever what I have to do to get myself out of this situation,
That's right.
morally,
Right.
of course, legally,
That's
I will do it. But also, I'm always going to have that special place in my heart to give back when I can.
right. Right.
That's what
That's
it's about.
Ooh, that's deep, Sean. That's deep. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you. It almost sounds like my story because I was homeless for 5 years, right? And I totally understand that from a woman's aspect. And when you are touched by him and you hear his voice, yeah, he takes you places. He paves out your steps. So nobody can really do that particular thing but you. And for you to he takes you to different places, you travel to different places. That's really important for you to reconnect with him, because you have to go into these different places as he did when he walked, at his time here. So that is like totally awesome, mind blowing, to be perfectly honest. I mean, is that what, kind of made you, get into hypnotherapy? I mean, like, what made you like a big fan of hypnotherapy? I'm so curious.
Yeah, because I've always been a fan of human behavior. Ever since when I was young, I was one of those kind of kids that if you're an adult and you would tell me something, I would
Mm-hmm.
listen. But then
Mm-hmm.
I'd be the type to ask questions. Well, why is it like that? Why is it like that? Why that person do this? Why that person do that? It got so much to the point they were like, "It's just because, man. That's why. It's just because." And I'm like, okay, but still in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, why is it like that, right? I was always a seeker for knowledge as far back as I can remember, from being in school, being around professors, just the human mind on how complex but yet fascinating our minds is.
Right.
Always just been a fan of
Right.
that. So when an opportunity arose for me to get into that space, right? I was already a life coach, already had certain credentials and different things of that nature, and I
Mm-hmm.
felt that was a missing ingredient. So I interviewed someone by the name of Elizabeth Otis about a few years ago. I'll never forget her because she's the one that really opened my mind through hypnosis and the power of it. And that was probably one of my best podcast interviews I had. One of
Yeah.
the best. That was
Yeah.
like for about 2 hours, if I'm not mistaken. So then afterwards, to kind of speed up a bit, because
Yeah.
I know that we have a call. So to speed up a bit, we spoke afterwards. She was telling me about it. She sent me some information about it. I took a free class on history and hypnosis. I was hooked. I passed it with 100. Couldn't believe it. And from
Wow.
there, I spoke to a recruiter. Before you knew it, I was attending HMI Institute, which was in September of 2021.
Wow. I can imagine you kind of being surprised though, within, because we're still human here, what I mean? We're still human here no matter what. But when God has his hand on something and he intends for you to do it, there's nothing that can stop that. And even though we're not supposed to be surprised, we're still surprised. Like, what can you do? We are still surprised. So wow, but that's absolutely insane though, because hypnotherapy is something a lot of people don't really focus on, right? Because they don't, for one, they don't know about it too well. And for you to have stumbled across that, and God has perfected you to be able to do that, that is like mind blowing to me. I mean, like, totally mind blowing. Like what events right now currently for you, Sean, do you have that are coming up, that you're kind of excited about, or that we can get excited about right now at this time?
Oh yeah, 1,000%. So, ladies and gentlemen, on April 26th of 2025, That's going to be about in a couple of weeks.
Hmm.
Yours truly in SBN, the Small Business Network, is going to be hosting our first annual Speaker Expo, in which we're going to have 9 dynamic speakers that's going to be gracing the stage
Yes,
at
I'm
6
excited.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And listen, these speakers here, if you think I'm good, oh, you ain't heard nothing because we're gonna have Latria Russ, which is a disabilities coach. She's gonna be bringing the heat. We're gonna have my man Ryan Wickline, which is all about that action through the fire,
I
and
love
he
Ryan.
is the life coach. He's gonna be bringing the heat. We're gonna
Hmm.
have here Sister Cameron Culliver, in which she is a part of an organization called Excellence Incorporated. And let me tell you something, she is a powerhouse in her own right. We're going to have the amazing Kayusha Ford. She is going to be bringing down the thunder. We have here Queen Angie, which is Clear as Conscious, and also
Yeah.
Professor Edith, which is co-host of the Peak Wellness Hour Journey, which you can catch, by the way, every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. They're
Yeah.
going to be bringing the thunder. And there are a few other names in which that I'm missing as well, and I definitely do apologize for that. Matter of fact, I got the list right here, so I'm not gonna
Yeah.
bypass anybody.
Please
We
don't.
have here Dr. Darlene Williams, our partner in SBN, the Small Business Network. She is gonna be bringing the heat and the thunder. And we have here Miss Cynthia Mann, Miss Smooth herself, Miss
Hey.
Elegance, Miss Suave. She's gonna be coming on and be really just tearing the house down. So
Woo.
I'm just so excited about that event. And guys,
Woo.
I'm telling you, it's something you don't want to miss. But
Yeah.
guess what? If you would like to be in attendance, if you'd like to be in attendance for the event, it's just only $10, guys. It's $10.
ten
And if
dollars.
that's something that you're interested in, I will definitely go ahead and share
Beautiful.
the link for that. I'm telling you, it's gonna be something else. But
Okay.
that's not all. In June, we're going to be having a very exclusive money making event with myself. We have Jennifer Nix right here that's going to be a part of this amazing extravaganza. We have Miss Charmel Thomas hailing all the way from Kentucky with KFC rules. She's going to be in the house. And we have the mad scientist himself, Commissioner Dr. James McConnell.
Woo, woo,
All
woo.
four of us is going to be tearing the house down, and we're all
Tearing
going to
it
be
down.
sharing secrets and insights on how you can make money through our respective ventures. And if that's something that you want to be a part of, by all means, please feel free to get in contact with us. And which, by the way, there's going to be many other things that's coming down the pipeline. So guess what? It's starting to get hot, and we're starting to sizzle, baby. So I'm
Yes,
telling
yes,
you.
we are doing it. We're doing it. That event is going to be beautiful. With all the speakers in the house and everybody speaking, and it's gonna be totally electric. Totally electric. I'm definitely gonna make sure I'm there. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna make sure I'm there. And I tell everybody to do the same because to miss such an event like that would be just heartbreaking to miss such an opportunity. And then you have to look at that as another opportunity that you've missed. And you don't want to
All right.
keep missing those opportunities at all. And for any one of our events that are coming up, I mean, Mr. White, can you tell everybody how to get in contact with you though, if they wanted to get, any kind of assistance from you or, work with
Absolutely.
you within your hypnotherapy sessions? How would they be able to get in contact with you?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So I'm available on all social media platforms. On Facebook, I go by Sean A. White. Instagram, I'm Mr., which is MR, the underscore sign, then politic 35. That's on
Okay.
Instagram. On LinkedIn, I go as Sean A. White, Transformation Greatness on LinkedIn. On TikTok, I go as Sean A. White. YouTube, Sean A. White. And everything else, Sean A. White. If you would like
Yes.
to reach out to me directly, my telephone number is as follows. Area code 470-542-9320. Again, that contact number, ladies and gentlemen, is area code 470-542-9320. And my email address is Mr., which is MR, Politic 3838 at gmail.com.
Ooh,
Back to
this
you.
was this just absolutely awesome. I hope everybody got that information. That's some valuable information that we just heard from our CEO at SBN, our one and only CEO, Mr. Sean White in the house. And that's some very, very valuable information that a lot of people didn't even know about. And just to hear the transformation that you went through by yourself here before you even got the name Transformation Greatness is such a anybody who's listening to it can actually feel the anointing from what was spoken to you that day. And it's just an absolute honor to be able to interview you on our 399 network podcast before the big 400. Okay, in the house. What a way to top it off. I mean, anybody, if you didn't get his information or you want to get his information, you can reach out to me at inspire with Jennifer Nix sbntv@gmail.com, and I'll make sure that you get his information. You're able to work with him. We really look forward to seeing all you guys at our event. And Mr. White, it was awesome, awesome to interview you and to hear your story. It has really inspired me more. And everybody with the rebirth of travel, it's just going to get them closer to being with one centered within themselves here. So thank you so much for everything and allowing me
Absolutely.
to interview you. We'll do this again soon for sure.
Most certainly. Most certainly. And,
Absolutely.
and I just want to say one thing as well, because
Mhm.
and it's something in which that I normally say as far as on my podcast. There was something which I call like the devil's advocate, in which
Mhm.
the way that works is that this individuals that's going to watch this either tonight,
Mhm.
tomorrow, next week, next year, wherever have you, and they're going to be inspired by what was said here. But then there's
Yeah.
always going to be individuals that's going to look back and they're going to say, "Well, I would love to do that,
Mhm.
but I have this going on. I have that going on. I have this. I have that. I got mortgage. I got this. The kids, the dog, the wife, the uncle, whatever the case. Right? They're going to have
Right.
all different things. And I want to ask you
Mhm.
during this day of time, 2025, with everything which is going on in the world,
Mhm.
how much time do you actually think that you have in
Hmm.
order to pursue your goals and dreams? Have
Hmm.
you thought about that maybe this may be the year that if you don't make a committed decision and be all in on yourself, that you may not be able to ever, and hear what I say, ever get the opportunity to make it happen. But how about this? How about this? How about this? How
Mhm.
about now, and this is how deep this is. How about that by you procrastinating on your goals and dreams and not taking action, not only that you are being affected, but your kids, your kids, and your kids, all the way to about 5 generations down will be affected by the decision of you saying, well, you know what, I would love to do it, but
I'm too tired. I don't feel like it. I'm working too hard. Yeah, that's a blockage. It's a definite blockage. Yeah.
so I say to say this, now is definitely the time to take action. I mean, committed action. I mean, just have a sense of urgency that you say, you know what? If I don't get this done, if I don't put the action in and day out, then you know what? I cannot go to sleep
Yeah.
without me getting it done for that day. That's
Yeah.
how bad that you have to want it. Really.
That's
That's the way
true.
it boils down. It boils
That's
down to.
true. Don't matter how many projects you got going on. If you want it, you want it. You know, if you can do it, you can do it. Well, I know you inspired me, okay? Because I'm one of those people that I can definitely get that procrastinating gene going on because you feel like you got so many irons in the fire, but when you put it like that, Mr. White, you can definitely stagnate your generations, your own blessings, and things of that nature. So you have inspired me. So you might as well get ready because you done lit a little fire under me. So if anybody kind of wants to get into television, radio, podcasting, you feel like this is something that can actually help you as well and help for your generations, inbox me, inbox Sean. Let us get you started. Let us get you going because this will help your business. This will give you exposure. This will also help you with your generations to get exposure later on as well. So let's not procrastinate on this. Let's move forward. And I'm gonna be the first one to say it tonight that I will not procrastinate anymore. The man
Oh,
has taught me. Thank you, Mr. White, for everything, even helping me in all of this.
let's work. Let's work.
Yes. You guys have a wonderful night and thank everybody for joining us tonight on our 399 episode podcast with the Small Business Network. I'm Jennifer Nix. That's our CEO, the man with the plan right there, Mr. Sean A. White. And we see you guys next time. Have a great night.
Absolutely. Good night, everybody.